Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. Today we are doing a little something different. We've been grinding the film, 2022 NFL Draft coming up. But we wanted to just kind of change it up a little and talk some bar talk college football. Honestly, this is my brother's idea. Dill, what are we getting into here?
Essentially, this is like the stuff that I think makes college football different than any other sport. When it's not about necessarily championships in college football. Like every game matters so much. Like your life's on, you're living and dying with every play, and that's why it's so much better than anything else. NFL, college basketball, NBA, like all those other big sports. Nothing like certain points matter. But college football, it's just so awesome because everything matters. Every game is life and death.
Yep.
So we're getting into some topics that kind of, I don't know, I think stand out to us. And right now we're doing top game day environments. So I will kick it over to Jay with his fifth rank.
We're doing a top five here, and I'm gonna start with BYU. It's a sneaky one. I'm probably gonna get some hate in the comment section, but the mountains in the background, we specifically got the image with the mountains in the background. BYU fans, they love the football out in Utah, and like when BYU's good on a Friday night when they're playing Utah, there's not much better. Like this is one of the sweetest venues to play college football. Again, the mountains in the background. The BYU fans are actually one of the more underrated fans in the country. It doesn't get any better than that.
And a historically like really good program like Steve Young, McNair, like some real legends coming out of the school, like a great history. And yeah, just an electric place to be out west. And
the mountains, man.
I agree with that.
I saw it once. This was my first time, like kind of like, wow, this is special. They were playing Utah Friday night game, rivalry game, and I was like, this is nuts. This is so. And then Zach Moss ended up running all over BYU, but like it was mad cool. Let's kick it to your five here. I love it. I love this one a lot. Florida State.
So I think in Florida State, when they're buzzing and that team's humming, I think what makes Florida State so great is the Seminole chant. Like when that's roaring in the tomahawk chop, whatever you call it, is going, it's nothing like it. And I also love what Florida State, they have an iconic entrance. And the iconic entrances are fun. I think USC has one in a very similar vein. Colorado to a lesser extent.
We got another iconic.
Like fun to run
we have
Buffalo.
Another iconic one.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, Florida State though, when it's jumping there, it's electric. I think the fireworks are fun. I think the whole thing's fun.
When they came out, and this was like Florida State's had some tough years, and it's been a little dead there, that's for sure. When they came out to play Notre Dame after Bobby Bowden passing, that was nuts. That
resurrected the whole like that's Florida State football. Like you just want that back in college. You want that back in the game so bad. All those big environments.
We were talking about what was the good bet in that game. I remember us having that conversation, and we saw them come out. We were on the phone, like Florida State money line.
It was a good bet
out, too. But it was a good bet. It was a good bet.
They had good value, and they should have won.
Absolutely electric. The Seminoles.
Such a fun environment.
One of the sicker mascots.
And great uniforms to cap off.
Yes, uniforms are dope. And then we're going to kick it to the SEC. And the SEC isn't all over this list, although there's a lot of SEC, Florida, Alabama. Like those are they have an argument. But the 12th man at Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Watching that game against Bama this year, I mean, it comes alive. They don't call it the 12th man for nothing. And they were like the first one to do it. Like the Seahawks, the Colts, they've like tried to do it. But like this is the original 12th man. And their students care a lot. And like the ROTC section, it's just.
I was gonna say, it's sick.
It's an electric atmosphere there.
And they're the ones when they're all like locking hands and doing the back and forth, like whatever you call like waving back. It's so fun. It's such a big stadium too, which is obviously part of it. And yeah, that's a great environment, no doubt. Texas A&M's up there.
It just means more in the SEC too. Like down in Texas, they care about their football.
Just means more.
And so it's true. As much as like a Big Ten guy is like that.
No, it is.
It's
true.
their life. It's college football is their life down there.
They don't have the same pro team love, but they love those colleges.
They love it. You had a nice little 4 spot as well. The Utah Utes, similar reason.
Utah is a very much on the BYU vein. Like, yeah, it's in Utah, maybe less so of a historic program, haven't had the top end success of like a BYU at times. But when they come out to a blackout on a Friday night,
the blackout, the unis,
those are yeah. And it's like everybody's got a ton of black, and it's just like I'm just like those again. It's always played on Friday night. It feels like, which even makes it better because it's the only game on really, and of a similar backdrop with the mountains.
And when they play BYU, like either it's at BYU or Utah, the Friday night under the lights, like it's dope. It's so sick.
They're so good.
Uniforms just make it way better. They probably have the best uniforms when they go all black. It might be the best uniform in college football. And we're Utah fans. Like we rode them all year. It's a fun program to root for.
And Utah comes out as a heavy style for the West. No one plays like them really. So it's like even adds to the blackout and just the whole aura of like, yeah, we're gonna come out and start pounding some teams that want to run and spread it out, and they've kind of been doing it. So I'm a huge fan of the Utah environment.
So our next 3, we all agree. We both agreed. We sent our lists when we were planning this episode. We agreed on the top 3, starting with Vatek. Enter Sandman. When they were coming out against UNC this year, and they've done it before. COVID. Yeah, it was like after the COVID first time, like full stadium capacity.
It was unreal.
Absolutely nuts. That's the best entrance in college football. There's a lot of like Clemson when they sprint down the hill. That has to be like the stupidest thing ever. One, like I feel like it's like all these like to have the offensive linemen watching them just like lumber down the field. It just looks dumb. Enter Sandman.
And then Dabo's making it about himself, running in front of everyone like an idiot.
Enter Sandman's it's just electric. Opening night, that one was like a Friday afternoon, like Friday 6:00 game. Sun was setting.
Yeah, that was truly the first game since like the first it felt normal college football. It was it was bad. Like if you don't get like a little chills thinking back to that, you just don't love the game.
That was one we missed on. We took UNC there. So dumb. I don't know if you
Squares
and you want to take UNC to cover 5.5 in that environment. Idiot.
That's peak us just picking last year football and not
and we
not
knew it
factoring
too.
Not factoring in what college football is with the hype and the fans, and
that's on us.
In the emotion.
We did another thing when we took Vatek to beat BC on Red Bandana night. Horrible. Like, what do you think?
Disgusting display of.
You gotta have some feel. You
gotta
have some feel.
A little too much tape, maybe.
A little too much overthinking. And that's what we're trying to get away with these segments. Like, get away from like the big brain analytics and like let's start arguing. Like, I want to see people in the chat like telling us we're crazy for not including Michigan. Telling us
everybody's environments they're the best to yourself. Like, yeah, I would 100%. Say Michigan when we came out against Washington, that was all like. The place was rocking and like Michigan, nothing like it. Michigan, Ohio State, of course, in the snow and
Michigan, Notre Dame when in the first game under the lights. That was also when we do a top games. That might make it because that was freaking sweet.
With Robinson and buzzing around. Yep, that was electric.
Two is my one, I think, and that might be a little bit biased because we've been there, we've experienced it. Oh, we had the whiteout. So we got LSU.
I was going whiteout one for sure.
Yeah. Okay, good. I agree with that. Death Valley at night is also just that's different. Like when they had the Alabama rivalries, Alabama coming to 10. This was like back when like they had the low scoring affairs and it was like a defense dominated game. This has a great argument to be number one. Death Valley at night is one of the sweetest venues.
I mean, arguably the most passionate fan base. That's truly like, I don't know. It's hard to compare like the LSU fans. They go when a team might be bad, no matter what. They show out. They get loud, and of course, like I think part of it is like we grew up in the era when LSU was really good, and they always had the late night CBS or ABC, the big games with Bama.
When they would play Bama. That's like what you remember as a kid. That was like our childhood. LSU, Bama at night. And the score
and you
was
just
like
get
93.
excited.
You just have like freaks on defense just dominating. It's a different era of college football, man. That's special atmosphere. And let's go one. Something we've experienced, and this was
Just
we've been to
truly
Michigan,
electric.
Ohio State. We've been to the big house when Michigan takes in Ohio State. We've been to
Nebraska.
Ohio State. We've been to Nebraska. Penn State whiteout was just
unreal.
And we did the whole game day experience, like tailgated with our buddy all day, come to the game. We're getting like beers poured on us. I got mauled by somebody and I loved it. Maybe not at the time thinking back, I'm like, I love it. Like that's like stories you tell. It's like,
oh, if you don't like getting knocked around a little bit, you don't belong in college.
You don't belong going to college football games if you don't want to. And my brother, one of the more quieter kids, Dill's just chirping everybody. I think you got into it with like a 40-year-old mother. That would have been at the Ohio State game.
There's nothing like being at an away game, rooting your team on, and just like screaming at people. And then at the end of the game, you always like shake hands, like that was awesome. It's just, it's the best. It's the best. I don't know.
You might even see us if this is the Michigan game, like a little neon right there. Like that might be the ROC Boys right there.
That could have been you. I remember. I think I went white Michigan shirt to honor the tradition. It's a little cowardly, that's for sure. But
not me. Sticking out like a sore thumb, getting knocked around. That was my favorite college football experience, though.
And like, even when you watch on TV, you can just tell they're waving the pom poms. The entrance is really good. The song's really good.
Yeah, it's nuts. And that was when Saquon Barkley was there, and like Penn State was buzzing around. Like Penn State's always good, but like they were real good with Saquon, and I believe Saquon like took 180 yards for a touchdown, like one of the first.
You get him on the big games with Michigan, Ohio State, like the big teams. It's a really good atmosphere. Really loud, I thought.
Yeah. That'll round it out. Any honorable mentions for you?
I mean, Michigan. As a homer, that Michigan Ohio State game this year really cool. Of course, back when they first went under the lights, that was really cool. And then one, I'll say Wisconsin. If they figured out how to fill the stadium quicker, and I think some stupid rule with like tickets and how their students are allowed to enter the game.
Crazy.
But like, when Wisconsin gets full and gets nuts and of course jump around, it's like that could easily be right up there with any stadium environment. I'd love to go to Camp Randall at some point in my life, and they just gotta get the stadium full. They gotta get the stadium full in the first quarter. It's crazy.
I have an honorable mention, Nebraska, another one that we got to experience on the road. That's another one of those fan bases. Like that's the culture. They don't have NFL teams. Like we're driving to the game and all it is like Nebraska fans on the highway. And we had like the privilege enough to go and they had like the red light show. And those fans, like Nebraska can stink. I think they were like 2-4 going into the game.
Oh yeah.
Sold out. And the fans are like awesome. Like the Nebraska fans are like some of the coolest. They're
very nice. I like a little edge personally. Like the Ohio State fans, there's some edge to them and I kind of love it. Penn State certainly had some edge. I like being able to like scream back at someone and have them scream back, and you don't have to feel bad about your behavior because they're just as nuts as you are.
Yeah, and so then you said, you like shake hands at the end of the day. Like you're strolling out.
Like we're all here for the same thing,
and like we're all lunatics who just love ball. But Nebraska
Ohio State's great too. I'll give Ohio State. That's as loud as I've heard a stadium personally.
Yeah.
That 2016 overtime game I thought was just incredibly loud.
Yes.
And
Nebraska got loud too. I couldn't believe how loud Nebraska got.
That
was like
cool
a first time in a
too.
while that we like went to a live sporting event because of COVID, and like I was like, holy smokes, this is like loud.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And then you have the Alabama, the Auburns, the Florida Gators are a good one, but when you're picking five, I mean, like they have all good arguments, but this was the one. This was special.
I guess with those, it's like nothing directly stands out to me. Like And it's not necessarily, it could just be a personal preference because I get that. I mean, partially like Florida hasn't really been good in our lifetime, really since Urban Meyer. Like we were pretty young when he had the
Yeah.
team really rolling. I mean, Bama's been incredible, but it's almost like you're just rooting against them, so it's like, you can't appreciate it.
I had another one pop into my mind. Starkville with the Cowbells is pretty sick.
Oh yeah,
We're at the
yep,
we
yep,
were
yep.
watching the Egg Bowl this year. Like that's like,
Rainy,
but they're all
cowbells going
there.
everywhere.
Cowbells. That's another good one. Is you got a ton, man. You got a ton to choose from, and that's why we got to make it out. But
I
yeah,
mean,
that'll
when Texas or Oklahoma's going, it's with
the
the
Red River
cannon
rivalry. That'll
and
make the
the
rivalry list. I'm sure of that.
yeah, oh yeah,
Do that
best
next
games.
week.
There's been a handful, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I could go
So
forever with this. I
oh,
just don't want
100%. This is like what college football is about. We hope you guys enjoy it like as much as we do. Yes, we love getting into the film and talking like being nerds about college football, but like sometimes just gotta like take a step back, breathe some fresh air, and like talk about what makes college football special. This is
the
the type of
best.
stuff that makes it special. And we'll be back doing this maybe once, twice a week, just talking about best rivalries, best environments. I think we have like a head coach a fighting bracket set up. So we're taking which coach you
Jim
take in the
Harbaugh.
bar fight. But again, we appreciate you guys obviously for rocking with the ROC Boys. Something new from the boys that we just enjoy chopping it up about. We'll be back. Let us know how you guys like this for one. But we'll be back later with more of this type of content because in the summer, like all you got is to look forward to college football. Part of that environments, rivalry games, best fans. We appreciate you guys rocking with the ROC Boys. We will talk to y'all later. Peace.